Well, hey, Power Agents, Darryl Davis coming here to talk about designing a career worth smiling about. So I want to give you several tips on how to jumpstart a stalled listing. Now, I'm going to rattle off a few. Number one, most important, is consider lowering the price. I mean, if you've got a listing, it's sitting, it's not getting activity, there's no showings or offers, probably it's overpriced. But a couple of things about pricing. When you present the price, or when you lower the price, don't do just like small increments. Like do sizable, like for when other agents see the price drop, they go, oh, that's good, that's good. So don't do like a 1% or 2%. By the way, doing little bit of increments is much worse than if you just jump to a good number right out the gate. And when it comes to actually the actual price, don't do this like $249.9, because here's the problem. Think about how people look online. A lot of search engines have drop-down choices when it comes to price. And so if, let's say, you have a $249.9, but the drop-down choice is $250 to $300, for example, your listing is not going to show up on that search because you've got that stupid $249.9. So round things off based on those drop choices. Second thing is consider raising the commission. Now, the commission, you've got to do whatever your broker and office policy is, but in my opinion, the selling broker's commission is a marketing tool. If you've got a listing that you know is going to sell quickly, then I would pay out less than what you might normally do. So, for example, if in your market the norm is to do 50% of the total commission, well, in this case, if I've got a hot listing, I know it's going to sell, I'll put out maybe 40% or less selling broker's commission, and I'll keep more because it was hard to get the listing. But this opposite is also true. That if you've got a listing that's stalled and it's not getting activity, and if, let's say, just hypothetically, the commission is 7%, instead of paying 3.5% out and keeping 3.5% at 50-50, I might pay out 4% and keep 3% because it needs that extra push. The third thing is check your photos. You know, there's so many MLSs I've seen, the photos are just not really selling the house. So reconsider taking new photos, better lighting, dress up the photos, make sure all the rooms are covered in your photos. Fourth thing is check your description in MLS. You know, some of the descriptions I've seen on MLS, they're not, to me, the remarks section is like the billboard that helps promote the listing. So make sure you're writing like, don't lie, don't exaggerate, but really sell in the remarks section, and make sure you check and validate all of the taxes and the square footage and all that. Number 5 is any agents who have shown the listing before, when there is a price adjustment, call all those agents, get on the phone and give them an update. Let them know the homeowner's motivated, the price has dropped, Number 6, public open houses, always great. If for no other reason, it gets more business to you. Number 7, consider a neighborhood open house if you haven't done that, where you're inviting just the neighbors exclusively. That way you build relationships, and maybe you'll pick up some CMAs and some listings that way. And lastly is look in your MLS. There's a way to search to see all the homes that have closed or gone into contract in a similar price range that you have this listing that is stalled, and call those agents who sold those houses. See, they probably had some other buyers looking at that price range. They didn't get that house, and now by you prospecting, maybe you can give it a little jump start there. So I hope those tips helped you. Have a wonderful day, and don't forget to keep smiling.